back to Object Photogrammetry for Beginners. My name is Diana Pearl McNutt here at the University of Reading Archaeology Department, and in this chapter, Chapter 3, Part B, we will be doing a 3D model in Agisoft Photoscan Standard. This will be done in a screencast form, so you can follow along and see every single step that I'm doing, and I will put up a workflow spreadsheet on the side of the screen so you can follow along. Now I'm going to head over to the computer and get started.
Okay, now we are in Agisoft Photoscan Standard. Time for modeling. I've put up here our model workflow so you can follow along. All the different steps and also for you to reference. Now we need to add a chunk, which is this blue checkerboard square in the corner here with a green plus sign. Just press that. Now you're going to rename your chunk. I've already copied the name, so there it is, Cornstone. Now it's time to add photos. So there's a icon next to it with a bunch of multicolored squares with a green plus. You're going to click that. I have told this thing I do not need an update. Control A, so we've got all our images that we have masked. Open. Let's see how long this takes. Usually, if there's not that many, it takes not that long. And we're off. Okay. Now all our cornstones are right here. And we are going to estimate our image quality. So select all of them. Estimate image quality. All cameras. Now, you know, the thing is with this is that the estimated image quality it's based on many different factors. It's more of an indication rather than an actual exact quality check. But it's still very useful, and we will be using it later on in our texture. But I thought, I'd just show you really quick the kind of what this estimated image quality is, because before you get on to the other steps, it's basically making sure you haven't messed up and you're going to need to take more photos. So we've estimated the image quality. So I'm going to pull this up and I'm going to change it from the little icons to the details. All right, now you see all my details here. I'm going to put it in descending. So here I have my image qualities of about 0.9 to 0.715492. Any images below a 5 are just not gonna work. They are out of focus. It really goes up to about 1. You can go a little higher, but 1 is essentially the most amazing quality images. So you really need to aim somewhere between 0.5 and 1. Now, of course, if you can get them as high as, above 0.7 and above, and just have an average spread of really good quality, that is the best thing to have. All right, now on to our alignment. Workflow. Batch process. Now I do like batch process because it saves the project after each step, so especially if you have to walk away at some point, it will save every step that you do and there's no chance of anything not being saved or someone turns off your computer and everything goes away, which has happened. So make sure to save that project after each step. Alright, so let's add. And we're going to import those masks down there. All right, from alpha replacement, just keep it the standards. All chunks, So this one here. Now if you have multiple chunks, remember to do selection. But we only have one, so it's all chunks. Okay. Then we're going to add align photos, all chunks. Now I'm just going to keep it on the basics here. I would suggest doing it on medium. Now, you have this gut instinct to go, oh, we want the highest one, but oftentimes the highest ones of these, especially with the dense cloud and the alignment process with the point cloud, you do not need the highest quality most of the times because it will slow down the whole process, and sometimes the mesh won't even work if there's too many points with the dense cloud. So I'm going to apply the mask to, you can either do the key points or tie points. I'll do the key points for today. Leave the adaptive camera model fitting. So I won't go into too much details about changing these settings and manipulating them. I'll just really stay with the standards for this lesson. And then we are gonna press OK. Now double check, save project after each step. So we're importing the masks and aligning them. So okay, and now we get to save. So we're gonna go to our model, and now I've already saved one here, so I'm just gonna resave it. And it's off. So as you can see it with the batch process, you can also get an idea of how long everything's going to take, and if you have more than one chunk, how many chunks have been processed. Now, okay, I am not going to stare at this green bar, so I'm going to go get a cup of tea. Tea sounds lovely. Okay, here it is. This is the point cloud where everything has aligned. Really, the point cloud is also where you can see if something has gone horribly wrong, because this is where all your images are aligned to create the dense cloud and the final model. Now, all our images have aligned, so 110 out of 110. If there is maybe one or two not aligned, that's not necessarily a huge deal, but if a vast quantity of them are unaligned, that usually means there's something wrong, either with the images or the filing system names. It really depends. So that's when you have to go in and check to make sure you didn't mess anything up. And I have done that quite a lot, even after I've been doing this for a while. So no shame. Here's our point cloud, and it looks very nice. This is also the time to check your camera alignment, which you can view right here. So here is your dome of images. Each square represents an image. You can even do this really cool feature now where it's show thumbnails, where you can see all the photos, which is really cool. It's a little distracting, so I'll turn it off. You can also see where all basically the lines of sight are going. And you may notice my dome looks a little funky, and that's because I no longer use the clock. It's become muscle memory at this point, so I just do it by eye. So that's why you do not need to be extremely obsessive about the 15 degrees, because even by hand you can create very lovely models. But I would suggest sticking with the clock until you get plenty of experience, or, just stick with the clock. Looks great. Now we will check the bounding box to make sure everything is good. You don't really need to worry about any excess points as they will not be transferred into your dense cloud, but you need to make sure it's inside the bounding box. So you can move around the bounding box and fix it by this little thing here, where you can move it, resize it, and rotate it. Now it's time to build the dense cloud. So I'm just gonna, I normally do this batch, but, save. always obsessively save. Workflow dense cloud. I would normally do this batch process, but I'm just, because it saves after every step. But I'll just show you what it looks like standard. So here it is. I know it's tempting. You really want to go high, but go medium. Even low a lot of times works better, but just start off with medium. And I'm just going to leave it as standard settings again. Now the dense cloud is usually the longest step, so I'm going to pause this and come back when it's all finished. Alright, drum roll please. Here is our dense cloud. So press this little button here for your dense cloud. Oh, look at that beauty. Isn't she gorgeous? Oh, lovely. So this is where you're going to get rid of some of these excess points around your model. So the way to do this is to zoom in. You're going to get this tool here, the selection tool. The Freeform Selection is really nice because you can just do this. Press the delete button. And this is just really tidying because these little points aren't really going to affect much. But if you do have a lot of extra points, you're going to need to get rid of them. Also, if you have any weird stuff like white around the edges, that can sometimes happen, you can also do that there. But things like this, that's absolutely fine. It's just really getting the really mucky stuff off your model. Alright, your dense cloud is done and it's time for the mesh. So that's the skim. Save. Workflow, mesh. I'm just going to leave it in its general settings. And here we go. Almost there, almost there, almost there, almost there. Ah, there we go. And your mesh you can view up here with these little pyramid things. So this one here, the yellow and green, you can see your mesh. So this is really the skim of your 3D model. And you can also look at some different views. So this is the solid view, so you're not seeing any of the kind of the texture of the actual stone. And this one here, you can see your wireframe. So essentially where all those little connectors are between the points, as I showed in that diagram in the first video. Now we have to do our texture. Now, when I do the texture, I'll just put it on the mesh so you can look at the pretty thing. So when I do texture, I do it based on image quality. So I've already gone through and you can go between your different views. So in the workflow, I have it set at sort of this general view, which normally it has, but you want to go to details. And you look at your quality. Now, I've already kind of gone through. You need the best images in order to get a good texture, because sometimes it can, if you have a few that are not that good quality, it can make the image a little murky. So you really have to create a threshold. So look at your images and sort of see what you have, the highest qualities you have, and then create a threshold where they start going down. So I put it at 0.77. So you go here, and what you do is disable cameras. That essentially tells the software to not use that selection of photographs when building the texture. Okay. Workflow, build texture. I'm just going to keep it all at the same settings. I'm not going to have any ghosting or hole filling because I don't really need that because everything looks really good. So I'm just going to press OK. And as that is running, I'm going to show you an example of why I do this. So this is a Pompeian style cornerstone. So this is my master workspace. So if you zoom in, this is the main, this is with all the images. So none of them being taken away. But this is the one where you have the change where you've selected the best of the best. I'll show you that again. Can you see there's a sort of smoothing out of the texture? And here you get a little more contrast. Now all these can, if you want to see these models here, you can always go to Sketchfab. Let's check our texture on our cornerstone. We've got a little bit left, so I'm going to quickly pause it. Oh, bring that workflow up. Now we are going to see our final model. It's so exciting. So that's this final triangle. So it's textured. I'm pretty sure it's a pyramid with a tree and a sky and a little sun. We're gonna click that one and bam! 3D model of a cornerstone. So you can really see the different layers and the different textures of the stone. So when researchers look at this, they can see what areas were used for grinding and surface pattern and wear. And it looks incredible. I'm very happy with this cornerstone.
Alright everyone, that's a wrap for Object Photogrammetry for Beginners. I hope you found these videos helpful and instructional, and now I'm going to send you off to go do your own 3D models, and I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. So if you want to, you can post a link to your Sketchfab model down in the comments below, and we can all check them out. Alright, I'm signing off for the last time. Bye everyone. That worked. Start. Come on. Who's the good computer? Da, 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 da. Yay, working. Okay, that was recorded.
Put the camera on.
Oh, shoot. Hope no one saw that. I'm gonna edit that out. Oopsie.
It's fine.
No, it's just like it's I'm just kind of copying Lindsay Ellison's and it's bang.
Just so you know, I just filmed that.
God damn it. You know, I had a feeling.
By one of our... Okay. My brain is having a cornerstone meltdown. Once again,
Oh, that's good because my stomach is at cause right now.
My stomach is Sorry about that. I'm gonna use that.